She gives workshops and events, and she's empowering young ladies to be the best that they can be. But I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'm going to have her talk about it. So, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Yaminah Legohn with Legohn TV. I'm sitting here with the CEO, the creative, the gangsta, that girl, okay? Alyssa Aparicio. What's up, girl? How you doing?
What's up? I'm doing so good. I'm excited to talk to you today.
Oh, you look so cute.
Thank you. I feel like stripper
fit.
Barbie.
I heard that. She got the whole did up, the nails and everything. Okay, y'all, if y'all didn't know about her, you know about her now, okay? She runs this event called Pussy Empowered, all right? Where she gives workshops and events, and she's empowering young ladies to be the best that they can be. But I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'm going to have her talk about it. So let us know what's up with your event, Pussy Empowered.
Yes. So I throw a Pussy Empowered party. It's quarterly, and it is really about creating a safe space for people with pussies or people who relate to that feminine energy to be able to feel safe to express themselves in their erotic nature and their sexuality and their sensuality, because I think there are so few spaces like that allow for just play and exploration. Yeah. And, without really centering on the male gaze, men are welcome. All genders are welcome into the experience. And so it creates a really rich, dynamic experience.
Awesome.
But we have performances. There's a dance party. There is an embodiment grounding practice to start off the night. We have vendors that are, themed around pussy and everything that has to do with empowerment and also fun and celebration, because I think the narrative is really that being a woman is about suffering. And I'm like, there is so much fun to be had. There's so much celebrating to do. And it's also medicine and healing to be able to do it.
Yes, I love to hear that this is focused on healing, because that's what we need. Because women or people with the poom poom, because I say poom poom, you know what I mean? We go through some things. I say the pussy, the poom poom is a serious thing, it's a serious thing, it's connected to our womb, it's connected to our manifestations and all of that. So I really want to give you a shout out and commend you for taking the time to really focus on the healing aspect of it. It's not just about entertaining, it's really deeper than that. So good job. So what inspired you to do this event? What did you just wake up and say, oh, I want to do a Pussy Empower? What happened? How did we get here?
I think that it's always been a calling for me. I've always been a performer. I've always been about empowerment. I loved the Spice Girls and their message of girl power. That was my thing always, and I finally committed to my business name, Pussy Empowered, where I can teach under that. I can do retreats under that. I can do events under that. And I have had an idea of having an event like this in my mind for so long. And it took, when there came to a point where all the pieces just kind of came together with the House of Ghetto Stiletto, with the performances I was doing and the videos we were making. And there was just kind of this momentum, and it felt like that was the time to start doing this event. And it's just something that I've been in a lot of spaces that I've drawn from and that I've learned from, but I wanted to create something unique that is really playful and has that Spice Girls energy in real time.
Spice Girls, I love me some Scary Spice. That's what's my girl. Scary
forever. Scary forever.
Yes. So how long have you been in entertainment, and how what happened to get you into entertainment, and how long have you been in it?
Well, I started dance classes and performance recitals and everything like that since when I was 2.
Okay.
I've been on the stage since that young. And I always knew I loved the stage. I loved performing and creating and costumes and the drama of it all. And also the presence of it all. I don't know. It's such a moment that just draws you right there. There's no escaping where you are,
Right.
And I wanted to go into entertainment. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a dancer. I wanted to be a performer,
Right,
and I grew up in New York City in the Bronx.
Bronx
in the house. And the closest avenue I saw to the stage at that moment was modeling. I saw, okay, there seemed to be this there was a call for me to go in that direction. So I started to model, and I did that from 14.
Okay.
I just poured myself into that because it seemed like the lowest hanging fruit. And then I focused on that. I ended up focusing on that for like 10 years.
Oh,
but
wow,
then
okay.
I kind of got really frustrated with the industry. You know, I had some successes in it. I was on Project Runway. I was on TV. I was in magazines. But I was really fed up with the industry because I really went into it because I wanted to perform and I wanted to make art and create. But I didn't really feel like I had the ability to do that in that space. So I went back to kind of my first love of dance. And that's when I started go-go dancing. Then I started doing samba, then belly dance. Then I started stripping. And it kind of became clear to me that erotic dance was like the venue or the avenue that I wanted to go on. Yeah.
Yes. And how long have you been on the erotic side? You know, on that lane.
I mean, I want to say forever because I think it's my nature. But also, I think about 10 years.
Okay.
I would say that I've been focused in that direction.
Awesome. Yeah. And from there, you have met other dancers that you have put in your shows and part of your events and all of that. What I really do love is that you add the cultural aspect of it. It's not just performing. It's like you bring your roots, your culture, and you talk about that. So what made you want to highlight your roots and your culture in your event?
Let's see. So I think that I've been on a real journey of reclamation in terms of my ancestors. You know, they're from Puerto Rico, Panama, and Mexico. I grew up in New York, and I've just felt like this really strong calling to get in touch with those roots in a spiritual sense. Like I know we don't just show up. We come from somewhere. We come from a lineage, and those stories live inside of us, whether we look at them or not. And for me, going towards Latin dance, which I've been incorporating now with my burlesque, so it's kind of been in that focus of Latin burlesque, and has been a process of reclamation because. In whatever culture, whatever lineage you're from, too, there is a history of eroticism, and it is our nature. And there's so many ways that, yes.
I had to bring them out for you, girl. Yeah, a little bit.
Bring them out. Okay. Yeah, and I think it's important to realize that it's not just something, it's not about a trend or a fashion moment. Like, this is part of who we are, sexuality, and no matter what culture you're from. And I've been embracing that, and also really wanting to see other culture. I love cultural dances, and I love sexuality, and I'm like, let's do both.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice that it's more of a space for that, because, you know, women have been slut shamed by men, put down by men, and the men are the ones that would tell us to do these things. Men are the ones, especially like in hip hop, like they're the ones that told us to rap nasty and be sexy and all this stuff. You know, men were doing that, and so now that women have a platform to really speak their mind and talk about the struggle, the trauma, the things that they've been through, and been able to make that something empowering, we have the right to do that in a safe space. And so that's great that you're offering a safe space. And how does that feel for you, that now there's more of a safe space to be open about that?
I mean, it's a dream come true, because I always desired that space, and I didn't feel like I had it. I felt like I created it for myself, you know, and I would just create safe space in my room to explore my sexuality, or I would go to courses and classes, like shout out to Ghetto Stiletto, which was very pivotal. Apollo Sadiq, one of my teachers that just really changed my life and held that space for safety and expression that that really allowed me to feel that confidence and comfort in my own skin. And I think that creating that space, has been a dream for me, and holding space. I mean, just in class, we were talking about this same topic. You know, it's real life, everyday things that show us, that tell us that we shouldn't be okay and safe in our bodies, that we should feel shame in our bodies. Yeah. It's every single day, and various people in our lives. And so it really is important. Like, it really matters to have the space, a safe space to explore that. Because it, you know, it's part of our wholeness. Our sexuality is just another part of our nature, just like trees that, leaves on trees.
Yep.
Hair on a head, sexuality in a human body. Like, it's just nature.
It's nature. Animals do it. They do it right out in the public, and they don't care.
Right.
I've seen little dogs in the hood back in the day being stuck because they was getting it in. You know what I mean? So, with all of this being said, who is a major inspiration for you?
Well, I mean, let's see. There's been so many inspirations in terms of my event series. Corinne Loperfido, who did Pussy Powerhouse, she had an event series called Pussy Powerhouse that was really mind expanding for me. Lizzie Jeff does an event series called Zen and Kush, that's also about sensuality and alternative spaces for exploring creativity and sexuality.
Right.
Mama Gina is a teacher who wrote a book called Pussy, A Reclamation. That was a big inspiration for me.
Nice.
I mean, so many people. Obviously, Apollo Sadiq, who I mentioned already.
Right. Shout out to Apollo.
Yes.
That's nice. So I know that you are a New Yorker. So how is that being from the East Coast living on the West Coast? Even though you've been on the West Coast for a while, how have you been able to adapt to that? Because I know you go back sometimes to visit your family and things like that. How are you able to adapt being a New Yorker in a Hollywood world on the West Coast?
It's wild. I will say the cultural differences are so many. And I think that I tend to stick with other people from the East Coast here in LA. It took me a while to find a groove here because it is so different.
Yeah.
People are different. Interaction, communications are different. And it took me a while to find where my place is within that. But in the end, I realized it was just I had to be myself.
Yeah.
Which is the moral of every story, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about being from the East Coast, because, I lived on the East Coast. That's really a place where you can be yourself, like openly be free. And in the LA world, it's like you have to follow a protocol to be commercial or whatever. But at the end of the day, especially right now, like being authentic is like popular right now. Like that's a trend, to be authentic.
Shout out to Cardi B.
Shout out to Cardi B. Okay. Yeah. I can't roll my tongue, y'all, so I just say okay. I love it, so Cardi B. But I came up in the Lil' Kim era and the Foxy Brown, MC Lyte. I ain't gonna tell y'all my age, but Queen Latifah. And so like even with Queen Latifah, like being who she was, now there are women who got bars and they come at it hard, but at the same time they're sexy, they're sensual, and they're artistic. And I love that. And I'm a Cardi B fan. Like she brought the stripper pose and everything in an artistic way. And pole dancing and sensual erotic dance is a form of art. And so it's a form of art. And so how do you feel you are leading the way in your way of erotic dance and sensuality and sexuality just for the younger girls coming up? Like, what do you think they see when they see you?
Well, I want to first say that I do aim for a mature audience. Like, I'm not trying to speak to young kids necessarily,
right.
Even though I have had mothers bring their children to class saying that they want them to experience what pussy empowerment is from a young age. And I'm all about that, But for me, I think that something going off of what we were just talking about, Cardi B and stripping and pole, for me, a big goal of mine has been to destigmatize sex work, destigmatize stripping, and humanize the workers who, sex work is real work.
Right.
And I think that in the empowerment world and even in the dance world, there has been this kind of divide, like a line, right? You can dance sexy, you can dance sexual, but you can't actually be a sex worker.
Right.
Or there's always these lines, even with rappers like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B.
Yeah.
They always, and I heard Megan in an interview say, "Oh, but my body count is actually really low," and I'm like, "Well, what does that have to do with anything? If you're gonna be about or talk about empowerment, like be about it too. We can be sexual beings. We can profit off that because capitalism is real and agency over your sexuality if you want to capitalize off that, you should be able to do that. It shouldn't
Right.
be, it should be decriminalized.
Right.
And so that I'm really passionate about that. And I think a lot of people come to my space knowing that and learning or being sex workers and feeling safe and at home rather. Because I've been in a lot of spaces that were really, you know, they were really, they talked down to sex workers and that didn't feel good and it's not right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because, you know, you got these young girls in their 20s trying to find their way, and sometimes they get human trafficked or they get caught up in abusive relationships or abusive situations. And, you know, having these kind of being a staple in your community and knowing people, they can come to you and get some guidance and get some kind of training, or just so they can feel good about themselves. You know what I mean? And they come here and they learn about how to heal their womb and breathing, like that. Those are the things that we need, because the power of breath does help you manifest, and you have manifested some great things. You know what I mean? So that's pretty awesome. And I want to give you your flowers now, girl, because I want you to keep doing your thing, because, you know, you're super dope. And she sings, y'all. So how did that feel? Because she's just coming off of her Pussy Empowered event, okay? And she just did her workshop, and she introduced her music. This is the first time, right? Yeah. How did that feel, using your space, your stage, to sing and bring about your music? How did that feel?
It was terrifying, because I have a long time ago, it was my first love to write music and to, I said I wanted to be a performer, but I had someone early on in my life tell me, you can't sing, right? And I was like, okay, so I put that dream away for a long time. And I went on a really long journey of reclaiming my voice. Cause I always used to say I am physically extroverted and then vocally introverted. So it was a really big leap for me to present my song for the first time like that. And I know that I have work to do vocally, but I'm really proud of myself for just doing the damn thing, Yeah. I just did it, and it felt really like a relief to say, okay, well, even if it wasn't the best performance I could have given vocally, I did it.
You did it. And you performed.
I did.
And you did awesome.
Oh, thank
you.
And
one thing I've learned, I was working with the vocal coach, and she told me, because I was struggling one time, and she just said, perform. Don't worry about how you sound. Don't worry about the note. Just perform. So if you're a natural performer, you can project that and your voice will follow. So I think we just have, as true performers, we got to keep that in mind. Like, whether if it's acting, whether if it's dancing, whether if it's singing, performing is your gift. So you can use it with anything and everything. That's your confidence. You know what I mean? So kudos to you, girl.
Thank you. It felt so good to hear that.
Yes, girl. Keep it going on. Keep it going on, y'all.
It's going.
Yes.
We're going.
Yes. So I want to give a shout out to the House of Ghetto Stiletto. That's where we at, Mr. Paulo Sadiq. And she hosts her events here at House of Ghetto Stiletto. She does her workshops. She does her events. And then she also has her social media, where she is giving you guys life, photos, artistry, and she sells her t-shirts, her merchandise, and she also sells her modeling, her picture. I saw your pictures, on the wall. I said, okay, girl, this is a whole gallery that you got going on. Yes. So kudos to you, girl. I want you to keep doing your thing. You are empowering a lot of young women, and I know it could be a struggle doing it, but you're doing it, and that's the main thing. You know what I mean? So kudos to you. Keep it going, queen. You. So let them know where they can follow you, and any shout outs.
Yeah, my Instagram is at sensual_radiance, and my website is pussyempowered.com. That's trademarked, so check it out there. I got retreats coming up. I have a retreat coming up in Puerto Rico. And,
tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is going to be a video vixen retreat. So it's all about getting in touch with that inner video vixen, that energy that I came up on. Like, I was in love with the video vixen energy. Yeah, are you kidding? And but what I realized and learned from modeling world was that we possess that sexual energy anyway. We don't have to wait for a camera or someone to approve of it or to be acceptable to be able to tap into that energy for ourselves. And so what I want to do is I'm going to bring a group of women to Puerto Rico, and we're going to tap into our sexuality, our sensuality, and we're going to create some beautiful art from it.
Nice. Yeah. That sounds like some cool stuff, y'all. So make sure you follow her. Go to her website and book your ticket and get it early so y'all can be in Puerto Rico, okay, in the sun on the beach. I love Puerto Rico. I love the crab rice, okay? I've been in San Juan, Ponce, and Yasco, so the food out there is good. And the strip clubs are good out there, too. I've been to a strip club out there.
I believe you. Yes, also, one more shout out to I have a podcast. It's called Pussy Empowered Podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify, and there's also some on YouTube there. So check it out.
Yes, y'all, check it out. You heard it right here on Legohn TV. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm your girl, Yaminah Legohn. You can follow us at Art of Legohn. It'll be here on your screen, Art of Legohn. And see y'all soon. Ciao.
Bye-bye.